There's a lot of innovation happening in some of the boring niches out there in e-commerce. One such niche, which is actually a massive niche, is the vacuum cleaner niche. And in today's video, we're going to be exploring how this $20 billion plus market is being revolutionized with AI and robotics. It's going to be a very interesting video, and we're actually going to dissect one of the latest brands in this market category that is absolutely crushing it. I've been hearing everybody on X, every Silicon Valley person talking about this thing. So we're going to dissect it from the lens of e-commerce. Now, the store is called Matic, and what they do is they sell a vacuum cleaner. This vacuum cleaner right here that you see moving on the screen. And it's an AI vacuum cleaner. That's literally what it is. And AI vacuums, believe it or not, are actually kind of a booming trend here. It doesn't have a ton of volume yet, but the demand is clearly there. It's continuously rising, and I don't expect this to stop anytime soon. This is the ShopeeLab.ai software. It's my software, and it's also an accelerator community. And yeah, we love looking at data here. This store is not using Shopify actually for their front end, which is very interesting. But I'll tell you right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the store, we're going to go through the landing page, and we're going to go through the marketing strategy, because they're actually not using the traditional marketing strategies that a lot of e-commerce stores use right now, which is not really traditional, but it's just popular, right? Using meta ads, for example. So as you see, the first thing that we can take away from this brand is that they have an amazing brand image. So they really went above and beyond in creating this sort of almost like a cinematic experience on the site. So as you see, it's the first truly smart home robot. So it makes sense, solves dry and wet messes, no babysitting required. Now, this sort of market was dominated by the Roomba, if you've heard of that, or Roomba variants, that kind of style of product. And these guys just went above and beyond in creating like a truly amazing version of that actually does map and detect its surroundings, as opposed to just like having a sensor that allows it to move. This actually gives it a sort of map that it can navigate, which is a lot cooler. It definitely is above and beyond. And as you see, this landing page is beautiful. I believe they're using Webflow for this, or some sort of front end site, but they do use Shopify for their checkout. I did confirm it. And their product, if you see, let's actually go look at their product lander. So this is their lander. It's very Apple-esque, you could say, in the sense that, again, it's not using Shopify, it's using a custom front end, and it's $1,000. So it's not cheap, and it ships in 4 to 6 weeks, which means it's likely being shipped after purchasing it. After you purchase it, it gets manufactured and then shipped. I'm not sure if that's exactly how they're doing it. Of course, maybe it's just because of this beta launch, but they're allowing you to basically order this ahead of time. And I love this model. I personally think the drop shipping model, this is the drop shipping model. You can call it whatever you want, but that's what it is. I actually think it's genius when applied to truly great products, right? Apple does the same exact thing. They actually developed this model back in like the early 90s, I believe. Tim Cook actually was a big proponent of this because it allowed them to have products on their shelf for very minimal amounts of time, so they could actually produce a ton of cash flow. And that's why a lot of times, let's say if you order your iPhone on their website, it will be delivered from China. It's pretty cool, actually, if you think about it. It sounds like not the best customer experience, but as long as you set that expectation, then it's fine. And as long as your product is truly great, then that's, people are going to be happy when they receive it. And that's really all that matters, right? It's also, not to kind of go on a tangent here, but it's also technically a lot more sustainable, right? If you just ship directly from your manufacturer, you're literally cutting out like 4 pieces of the supply chain puzzle that contribute to a lot of, waste. I mean, I don't know if you've gotten Amazon shipments in the last few weeks. I'm guessing, I have a 95% confidence that you have. It's pretty wasteful, right? It's not clean. And you got to remember, that's the last mile, right? That's the last step of the process. But there's so many other pieces of that supply chain experience where things get repackaged like multiple times, and it can't be good. So in that way, it may sound like a cope, but the drop shipping model is actually doing the world a service, right? By removing a lot of those steps. Now, their landing page is beautiful. So if we it's actually super minimal. So ready to roll out of the box, the most advanced floor cleaning robot. So they show you everything that comes in it. Meet the next generation cleaning robot. So they're actually not even doing that much copywriting on here. They're just going above and beyond and showcasing the fact that it's the best and, kind of having a superior design language, which is pretty interesting because I always, a lot of brands go super hard on copywriting, and that's great. Copywriting is super important. There's definitely a lot of copywriting work being done here. It's just very minimal and subtle. And it actually takes a lot of time to develop that sort of style where you can write one sentence that is equal in value to like a whole paragraph. And this kind of does the job. So pet hair doesn't stand a chance. I really like that. It's kind of fun and playful, but it tells you exactly, the value proposition. Work hard, stays quiet. Works hard, stays quiet. That's really nice as well. As you see, the images are just top of the line. They're really flexing their design experience and expertise and dominance, really. So they really have a design dominance over the competition, and they're leaning very heavily into that, which I love. I think it's really smart actually to lean into your strengths. Now it does come with this app apparently, which is super, super cool. More brains, more power, less noise. So they're literally showcasing here the us versus them. This is super brilliant, and you can do this in very simple ways too, with just, we've seen it on so many of the stores that we review, right? Just a simple table where you have your benefits versus competitors. But this is such a clever way to do that same thing, and just, again, in their style, which is this more cinematic style. And they're not mentioning which competitor this is, but I think we all know, right? This is very well done. I love it. And then, of course, just a ton of customer reviews directly from X, actually, which is exactly what I was telling you about. That's where I've been seeing this the most. And that is a big part of their launch strategy, is actually getting the people that care the most about this kind of stuff involved. And this is just such a great example on identifying your customer persona, your avatar that you're targeting. And we saw this in our last video, right, with True Classic. They knew exactly who they were targeting, even though it's just a t-shirt brand. It's very clear their target demographic. It's very clear who's going to be buying this as well right now. Of course, in the future, anybody that has a home could buy this, but they're not starting that way, right? They're starting by appealing to the Silicon Valley tech, enthusiast person. You can see it so clearly, and that's why they are posting X reviews, because of course everybody on X, or not everybody, but a lot of people that engage on X are Silicon Valley VCs and people that work in these massive tech companies. So basically tech enthusiasts, right? People that work at tech companies are the people that are buying these things, or people that are interested in tech companies. And I think that's actually very genius. It's a really good demographic to start this with, because they have disposable income that they can, use to buy this. It's $1,000, so it's definitely not cheap. It's not the cheapest option in the market by any means, but they're going after being the best and the most catered towards what these people want. These people want futuristic products. And again, this is why it's so important to dial in your customer avatar, especially when you're launching. It's good to test different things, and you can use large language models like Claude. That one's really good for copywriting and identifying those things. But also, let's say if you are launching a business and you're using competitor ads as your inspo, you could have Gemini, which is Google's large language model, break down that ad and break it down into customer personas and avatars. Again, this may sound advanced. It's really not. It's actually pretty simple, but it's in the simple things that you find, the people that master the simple things are actually the people that make it very big, especially in e-commerce. And these guys are doing just that. So that's their website. Super simple, not anything. Well, okay, it's not super simple. It's simple in like an elegant way, right? Like it's simple in a sense where they've actually spent a lot of time on making it simple, which is kind of the best sort of simplicity. And then they have, the cart is really beautiful as well. It's a really clean cart. They very much set the expectation that you're going to get it in 4 to 6 weeks, but it's free delivery. So, you can calm down if you're freaking out about the shipping time, right? Then we can agree to their policies, and then boom, they send you to this Shopify checkout. I'm fairly confident that this is a Shopify checkout due to the fact that they have Shop Pay enabled and they have all these payment options: Venmo, Shop Pay, PayPal. I'm sure if I was on my phone, it would also show me Apple Pay. Let me just confirm that this is Shopify. I'm like fairly certain. No, it's not. Well, whatever it is, maybe they're just copying Shopify's layout. Let's move on to their marketing strategy, because they have a beautiful website. They created a solid offer. It's a very simple offer. It's really not much of an offer, just a product launch. But how are they driving so much traffic to this? Well, again, they understand who their target demographic is, so they are appealing to them where they're marketing to them in the place that they are most active, which is X. So as you see, they keep reposting people's posts on X, and as you see, we can even see, like, it's so crazy how deep you can go with customer avatars. You can and this is a very big suggestion. This is what we do at Ecommerce Lab, right? We run a lot of ads for businesses, Meta, Google, and TikTok. Those are all machine learning based ads, and that's why we like them. They're super powerful, especially if you dial in your customer avatars. But if we take a look at this person, right, and you can do this on Meta too, you can kind of analyze who these people are, right? So as you see, and this guy is massive, right? He has a huge following, but you can see EV, space, and tech news. This is somebody that's very much into tech, right? Let's see this person building, some sort of bio, hardware, software startup, right? We know exactly who they're targeting here. So they are posting a lot on X because that's where these people mainly hang out, right? So that's where people are going to see it the most. Now, they are posting on Instagram too, but as you see, the engagement here is not nearly as big, although there are still a lot of people on Instagram that, also partake in that same demographic. So it's a good idea to be omnipresent, right? There's no reason they shouldn't be. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they're not running ads. I shouldn't be so surprised though, because again, they don't really need to, but I do think it could boost their pre-sales even more, especially with the design language that they're going after, right? They can really create some good direct response ads, and maybe their landing pages are pretty advertorial like, in the sense that they educate you a lot on the product, right? So it is pretty enticing. I think it would catch people's attention, first of all, on Meta, but then second of all, it would also convert because it's just the superior product. So if I were them, I would definitely run Google, TikTok, and Meta if they have the budget for it. I believe they do have the budget for it because they've raised a pretty significant amount of money. And actually, guys, if you're out there at Matic, we should connect. I would love to work with you. I'd love to help you in some capacity. I would do it for cheap, honestly, just because you guys have such a cool product. And I do think that this can make a lot of money. So maybe we can negotiate some sort of upside. Who knows? Hey, I would even invest in this, to be honest. I think this is a very brilliant niche. As you see, it's valued at $13.65 billion in 2023, the vacuum niche. But it's expected to grow to $26 billion, which I actually think this is undershooting it, right? Because you got people like Dyson alone pulling in like $10 billion in revenue and like $1 billion of profit every year. So that's just one company. Now, they do dominate the market though, so it's fair. Now, these guys have raised money, as I mentioned. They estimated about 10.5 million in 2024, which is actually not that many units if you think about it, because their product is $1,000. And that's another reason why I do think Meta would work well for them, and Google as well. They have a large margin to work with. I'm sure it's expensive to produce, but if they have this sort of like, they produce the product after they get the payment, that's kind of nice. And that allows them to build a good flywheel to scale on. Now, that's pretty much it for this, honestly. There's not much more that we could talk about because they are not doing too many advertising pushes. It's mostly kind of like guerrilla marketing, you could say. And they do have some cool, let me see if we go here. If we click on these sections, it just shows you directly what section you want, right? Under the hood, us versus them, testimonials, FAQ. So, this is actually pretty interesting because this is kind of the template that you should be using on your Shopify stores as well. Whatever theme you're using, it's smart to have like an under the hood tab where you really explore the benefits of the product, us versus them, show why you're superior, testimonials, why people love it, trust factor, and FAQ to handle objections. Handle every single objection that people may have. One last tip I want to give you before I go is that if you are going to be doing this sort of like, let's say you're drop shipping, right? Of course, make sure that you still are selling great products that are useful, right? That's the simplest criteria for a decent business. And second of all, just make sure that you're setting the right expectation, but also that you are keeping people informed through your email flows. This is actually something I see a lot of people miss. They don't have proper email flows informing people where their order is. And honestly, those are great customer touch points that you should make sure that you like dial in, right? Every single customer touch point is important. And even on your comments, right? So that's why I always talk about Smart Reply. And there's actually the free tool here that you can use in order to analyze Facebook comments. I would have done this, but they're not running any Facebook ads, right? So it wouldn't have been that useful. But that definitely allows you to, first of all, understand where there's discrepancies in customer expectations versus, what you deliver, because people always go to the comments to give you a piece of their mind, right? But also potential marketing angles that you're missing, potential objections that you could handle in your FAQs, right? But yeah, having dialed in emails in every step of the supply chain line, right? If you're shipping directly from your manufacturer, let's say, is super clever. You can actually kind of dictate the narrative before they get the product delivered to them. So that's a really powerful thing to do. And I highly suggest it. And then, of course, having something like Smart Reply, just automating all of the engagement on your pages, even on their Instagram, they should have Smart Reply because they get comments here and there, and this also handles your DMs and everything. So it's pretty amazing what you can do these days with AI. So we mentioned a variety of tools, Shopee Lab. We mentioned Gemini for creative dissection, Claude for copywriting, of course, Shopify for building your store. These guys went all fancy with it and created their own custom thing, likely because they're tech-based entrepreneurs. Like I believe one of the founders here is the ex-Google product VP or something. I don't know. I probably butcher that like crazy, but it's something like that. And hey, if you're out there, leave me a comment. I would love to know what you think of this dissection. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.